So I have always been desperate for attention. I will do anything to be in the spotlight. And unfortunately, my sophomore year of high school, that spotlight was always unbearably on somebody else. And that's because at that point in my life, I was surrounded by friends who exclusively wanted to talk about dating drama, and I had nothing going on in that arena. So I was just sort of forced to sit on the sidelines and watch that spotlight shine on other people. But I had a glimmer of hope. In the summer between my sophomore and junior years, I was going to the mecca of angsty teen dating drama. I was going to a 3-week sleepaway musical theater camp. Finally, thank you, finally a chance for me to get into some drama and bring back a story for my friends. And so, first day of camp, spent getting to know everybody, and that is when I meet Taylor. He is the most beautiful boy I've ever seen. He's got curly brown hair and a shy smile. We start talking, and he tells me that he's come to this camp with his friend from high school, Adam. And Adam is this very typical, very dramatic, flamboyant musical theater kid, but Taylor is cool and just kind of calm. And I just hope that whatever story I bring back to my friends involves Taylor. And on the first day of my junior year of school, I find myself sitting with my friends, Chris and Lauren, telling the story of Taylor. You guys, I met a boy at summer camp, and with those words, I feel Chris and Lauren immediately turn their complete attention to me, which has literally never happened before. So I keep going. Oh my God, guys, we had like instant chemistry and we started spending all this time together, and eventually he asked me to be his camp girlfriend. And Chris and Lauren squeal with delight. Normally I have to fight to get a word in with the two of them, but they are completely captivated by me. And I'm pretty sure this is what heaven feels like. Guys, it was so sad leaving camp, knowing that we'd have to be long distance, but I was so sure it would work out until a week ago when he called me and told me that we had to break things off. And he said it was because, and I take a dramatic pause, because he realized he was gay and in love with Adam. And Chris and Lauren are stunned, and as the shock subsides, they start to ask me question after question. Oh my God, how could he not know he was gay? Are he and Adam together now? Are they gonna go back to camp next year together? Are you gonna be able to go back to camp next year? Oh, how are you feeling? And how I was feeling was alive for the first time in my life. I was right where I belonged, under the spotlight. And as for any feelings of heartache, I cannot say I had those. And that is mainly because that story that I told was a lie that I made up that was completely untrue. I did go to camp, and I did meet Adam, and I did meet Taylor, but beyond harboring sort of a crush from a distance on Taylor, nothing ever happened. Here's what did happen. In the weeks leading up to my junior year of high school, I was watching a lot of Will and Grace, and in particular, I saw this one episode. It was the flashback episode where Will and Grace are dating, and Grace thinks Will's about to propose, but he's actually about to tell her that he's gay. And as I watch this very dramatic storyline unfold, I think, well, if it worked for Will and Grace to entertain America with this storyline, it would probably work for my friends, and that is how I find myself that first day of junior year telling the story of Taylor. And it turns out Will and Grace were onto something. It's a really good storyline. And as word spreads throughout school about Taylor and I am asked to tell this story again and again and again until it becomes part of my identity. I am the girl who fell for the gay boy, and I love it. I love that I am finally the center of attention. And then I graduate college, and I graduate high school, and I start college, and I truly intend to leave the crutch of Taylor behind. But as I start meeting new people, and my crazy brain joneses for that dopamine hit that comes from getting attention, I just sort of automatically whip out the story of Taylor because I've been trained like a Pavlovian dog at this point to tell it every time I'm feeling that desperate need for attention. And so by the time I graduate college, I've told this story to like dorms of people and to classrooms of people and to parties full of people. And at that point, I've been telling this story for 8 years. And I forget that it was a lie that I told. And I sort of truly begin to believe that it happened. And so in the 5 years that it's been since I graduated college, I've told this story to new friends and to coworkers and on first dates and in relationships with the true belief that it actually happened, until a few months ago when I was just randomly flipping through channels and I came upon that fateful episode of Will and Grace. And as I watch Will stammer his way through the big reveal, I am reminded of being a 16-year-old just desperate for a way to get her friends to notice her. And I realize I've been using this plot line as my own for the past 10 years, could be sued for plagiarism. And so I realize that I have to let Taylor go once and for all, but it's not going to be easy. Taylor is a part of me in a way that goes way deeper than I ever would have thought. I'm in a new relationship now with an actual real human man, and he is in musical theater. And despite me really recognizing that Taylor is fake, I still find myself have this base worry that what happened with Taylor is going to happen again with this guy. And so at this point, there's only one thing left to do, right? And that's to get up on stage and come clean, because the only way I can trust myself to remember the real story of Taylor is if I have an entire audience to hold me accountable.